Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in Minnesota, where the man accused of attacking two state lawmakers and their spouses has been arrested after a two-day manhunt. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest on the developments.
One man's unthinkable actions have altered the state of Minnesota.
The intense search for Vance Boelter coming to an end in the woods in rural Sibley County, Minnesota.
The suspect crawled to law enforcement teams and was placed under arrest at that point in time.
Boelter on the run for roughly 43 hours after authorities say he killed State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Saturday at their Brooklyn Park home. The suspected gunman then attacked State Senator John Hoffman and his wife at their house in nearby Champlin. Both survived.
I'm very proud to tell you that we took the suspect into custody who's responsible for this.
Police calling the manhunt the largest in state history, involving hundreds of detectives and 20 different SWAT teams. Their quick action may have prevented more attacks.
If that had not happened, I have every confidence that this would have continued throughout the day.
Governor Tim Walz praising law enforcement for their efforts to capture Boelter while honoring Representative Hortman.
Melissa Hortman was the core of who our values were.
Promising justice for the victims of this political violence.
And you can rest assured that we will put every ounce of effort that the state of Minnesota has to make sure that justice is served and the individual responsible for this serves the time for the unspeakable act.
In Hennepin County, Minnesota, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Closer to home, two people are recovering from injuries suffered in a weekend accident. It happened along Highway 6 in Hastings Sunday morning. The Adams County Sheriff's Office says a pickup and SUV collided. The drivers of both vehicles were taken to the hospital. Their conditions haven't been updated. The crash also knocked out a pole, causing traffic lights to temporarily stop working. An Iowa man wanted on warrants in Wyoming is in jail in Nebraska. 29-year-old Cole Sherwood arrested late Saturday. The Stanton County Sheriff's Office said Sherwood was clocked traveling 83 miles per hour near Pilger. The Sheriff's Office says Sherwood's driver's license is suspended. In addition, he was wanted on charges related to a DUI arrest in Wyoming 2 years ago. He's being held in Nebraska pending his extradition. Millions across the country participated in so-called No King's Day protests. 13 events held in Nebraska alone. One such demonstration took place in Norfolk, drawing participants from all over. Hanky Hazelton has more.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
There's been a lot of honking and cheering from cars passing by, and I gotta say, I haven't witnessed many, but this has definitely been one of the most peaceful protests I have ever witnessed. And we've had people travel from Omaha and Lincoln to come and show support for the people here in Norfolk about the No Kings protests, and we heard from young and old just exactly what brought them out here and what they would like to see change going forward.
Joy and love will always rise above.
We are out here today because we preach equality for all, so we are practicing what we preach.
I just want freedom and respect to everybody out there.
A lot of people find excuses to justify the blatant racism. So yeah, we're here because we don't support it, and we're wanting to make our voices heard.
To make sure things didn't get out of hand, there was a police presence, but that wouldn't be needed due to a few stipulations put on by the event organizer.
Number one, this is a peaceful protest. If you're here with us, you are fighting against violence. That also means no property damage. When we're done, we have to clean up after ourselves. We're here to protect our community, which means we respect our community.
Although the day was filled with many chants, honking, flag waving, and marching, the group also made their voice heard through a joyful noise.
All around the world. All around the world. We sang, we've got the whole world in our hands. Of course, the traditional is he's got the whole world, but we wanted to accentuate that we as a community have responsibility for what's happening in our community today. We have a responsibility for the children that are being affected by ICE enforcement, the children that are being affected by anti-LGBTQ legislation.
Muncie said a lot is happening in the world, but if he could get Governor Pillen's attention, he has a message directly from him and his view alone.
As far as I'm concerned, undocumented immigrants in our community who come here and they work, They raise their families, they're our friends, they're our neighbors. They're as American as I am. And I would like our governor to recognize that our economy does not function without them. Our communities don't function without them.
Reporting in Norfolk, Hanky Hazelton, News Channel, Nebraska.
At a time when the topic of immigration has been a flashpoint in the U.S., about 20 people from numerous countries became new citizens of the U.S. during a ceremony Friday. Doug Kennedy has more.
The Naturalization Ceremony was held just before Flag Day outside the Homestead National Historical Park's Education Center. U.S. Magistrate Judge Ryan Carson administered the oath of citizenship and welcomed those who have gone through the process to the United States.
You are entitled to the equal protection of our laws and the rights that are embodied in our sacred Constitution. I don't say that lightly. I want to share with you some of those rights and freedoms that are embraced in our Constitution. That includes the rights of free thought and expression, the right of religion, of the right to a free press and the protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, and against self-incrimination. We are all entitled to due process of law and to be treated fairly and equally. As Americans, we enjoy the unique and special privileges afforded to us in that Constitution. And for that, I feel truly blessed, and I hope you share in that sentiment.
Judge Carson said each of the new citizens will have obligations to serve as a juror if selected and be asked to vote in elections, which he calls essential to our system of justice. Southeast Community College faculty member Nick Sailstrom said the American story isn't one of a single color or a song of one note.
The American story is ours now, my dear and fellow citizens. We must be both stewards of its past and the authors of its forthcoming chapters. It's a huge and intimidating task. Lucky then that we have each other. Welcome.
Staff members of Nebraska's congressional delegation attended the ceremony, which concluded with the presentation of certificates to those who can now call themselves citizens of the United States. From Beatrice, Doug Kennedy, News Channel, Nebraska.
Maintain, nourish, and support your health by visiting our Good Health, Good Life shopping tab. You'll find select multivitamins, probiotics, and more, designed for you. Make the good life even better and promote your health in 2025.
Saturday was Flag Day. The city of Fairbury celebrated the holiday with a ceremony honoring the decorated history of the flag itself. Organized by the small city's Elks Lodge, the ceremony included an oral history of the many iterations of the flag that's been flown over the years. Jefferson County 4-H members paraded each of those flags through the room, from the classic 18th century flag with 13 stars for the original colonies up to the current flag with 50 stars and 13 stripes. Elks Lodge officials said Saturday the American flag's greatest significance has always been its continuing influence.
They remind us of the sacrifices being made by the men and women of our armed forces around the world. And they are a tribute to the heroes of the police and fire departments of this nation.
They bequeath to us their ever-present gift of freedom. Their blood, their sweat, and their tears gave us what we enjoy today, to live free in this great land of the United States of America.
The ceremony was also an opportunity for the city to celebrate its first responders, highlighting the hard work of who he calls the unseen heroes of law enforcement. Jefferson County Sheriff Nick Georgie presented 911 dispatcher Melissa Lee with his department's annual award. Well, many Nebraska communities celebrate their region's heritage through annual festivals, but few dedicate that festival to a pastry. But that's what happens each year in the small northeast Nebraska village of Verdigris. The town in Knox County hosted Kolach Days over the weekend. Verdigris has a large population of people with Czech ancestry. They proclaim themselves the Kolach capital of the world. The sweet pastry has some fruit surrounded by puffy yeast dough. But beyond the baked goods, the festival includes unique events like the turtle races. This year's races included more than 100 turtles drawing a crowd of over 150 people. And after the dust settled at last weekend's Nebraska High School Rodeo Finals, the top riders now headed to the national stage. Casey Wanenberg introduces us to two brothers who both qualified for nationals in bareback riding.
Bareback riding, definitely not a sport for the faint of heart.
Sometimes I get a big old horse and it makes me want to just tighten my rigging up a little more because I get a little bit scared. But in all reality, when you're climbing in that chute, it's got to be the same mentality every time. You got to want to go and get some.
We caught up with Colton Heath as he prepared to compete at the Nebraska High School Rodeo Finals.
Watch some of our top runs here today,
where he captured first place in bareback riding.
We saw Colton Heath of Minden, our only rider, putting in a ride of 72 points. Had a good one there.
If you ain't having fun, it's not going to be a very long-lived career.
In fact, the Minden senior has so much fun that he convinced his younger brother to also take up the sport.
Are you ever afraid?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
No. Why not?
Because you can't be.
Meet Cannon Heath, 2 years younger, just as fearless.
I started bareback riding in the 7th grade, and then I started the bronc riding this spring.
It's a lot funner to have somebody that's right beside you that you know that's blood related to you. It makes it a little bit more interesting and kind of a family it's a little bit of a rivalry in the family sometimes.
It's a very love-hate relationship. If we're riding good, then we're normally pretty happy. And if I'm not riding good, I normally yell at him and then we go at it a little bit.
Hopefully they're getting along now because both brothers have qualified for nationals. But Colton has his spurs set even higher.
My dream is to make the NFR and win a gold buckle someday. How soon that is, I'm not sure yet, but when that day comes, I'm going to try.
The question is, will he also convince his younger brother to saddle up for that dream, too? In Valentine, Casey Wanenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.